everybody, welcome to Grave Mobile Gaming. I am Grave. Today we are playing some Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and I wanted to do a quick review of the game. So, number one, this is a tile-based gameplay strategy game. In other words, in order to increase my resource production and my ring power, I have to collect tiles, and each tile has a set amount of strength and resources that it collects for you per hour. And there is a maximum amount of tiles that you can capture, so you have to constantly be getting rid of the old lower ones and grabbing newer better ones in order to increase your resource production. Next thing we want to talk about, number two, is ring power. Ring power is also associated with the tiles that you have. Each tile gives a certain amount of not only resources, but ring power per hour. So again, you want the highest amount you could possibly get. However, the higher amount of tiles, the harder the enemies are to kill. So you gotta be balanced out with your commanders. So ring power, as you level up your ring power, you will get the ability to upgrade your rings. Your rings are significant in power as it is in 4 sections. The first section being able to harvest resources, gather resources, and increase your gold amount in this top left section. Your top right section is going to increase your stamina and your ability points, along with your marching, your fort limit, and your fortress durability. The bottom right hand one is all about experience. It's going to help your commanders grow a lot quicker, and it's also going to cost a lot less to do mock battles, and it's going to make it cost less and gain more experience. So with the experience boost and the mock battle experience boost, you can get in a lot of levels really quickly, which is very, very important, and I should probably put more in there, and I'm going to do that. Anyway, the next one over is for mobs. There's mobs on there that are just PvE, and you can attack those to get little rewards. Not really worth it to me, but whatever. Abundant Force is a good one though. That increases your conscription hiring time up to 10% quicker, so you always want to be able to produce infantry quicker. And then the middle one, of course, every 10 levels you can unlock more territory so that you can have more tiles to collect. Obviously, I don't have many tiles, as I played Isengard, and I was wiped out before I even got here. So number 3 on the review is I want to talk about the roleplay server versus the open server. So the roleplay server is good and evil versus each other. And what I mean by that is evil factions can only use evil commanders and evil units. Meanwhile, good factions can only use good heroes and good units. They're not mixed. Now there's an open server as well where you can have bad commanders with good heroes or units, and good units with bad heroes, and I think I just said that. But anyway, you get the point. So it is a roleplay or it's a non-roleplay server. You get to pick which one you want, which is nice. I chose roleplay because I like roleplay. I like to see the bad versus the good and stick with that. I don't want to have to use elves while I'm Isengard. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, if that's the way you want to play, that's cool with me. I just chose roleplay because that's what I like. Let's talk about this. So after each season, the server resets, and that's something very new that I've never really seen in any other game. Doesn't mean that it hasn't existed, I just haven't seen it. And so at the end of each season, the server resets, so everything goes back to 0. Your base, your commander levels, the amount of tiles, everything goes back to the beginning. You start all over again, which I really, really like. And some people do not like that. I really do. And this stops people from becoming so overpowered that nobody can beat them. And I really like that fact, because in other games, you get to a point where someone spends hundreds of thousands of dollars and they just become invincible. So even if that were the case here, they'd still have to start over, and they'd still have to, the only thing that doesn't change when the reset happens is the amount of gems you have, the commanders you have, and their equipment. However, they do go back to level 1, 0, or whatever it is. That's it. Everything else goes back to the way it started at the beginning of the season, which I really liked. Uh, Tell me what y'all think about that in the comments also. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about, number 5, is the map. So, here is the map of Middle Earth. And the objective, we'll go with 5 and 6, because the map and the objective are kind of the same. So, the objective of the game is to capture as many territories as you possibly can with your individual faction. And the end game point is to capture Dol Guldur. Dol Guldur. Dol Guldur. There we go. Say that. Anyway, as you can see, week and a half, 2 weeks into the season. Maybe it's 2.5 weeks. I don't know. Looks like Rohan is already going to be winning because, yeah, that's where everybody went. It is one of the negative things about this game, I will say, is in the beginning, you can switch which faction you want to play with, and you could do that for like the first week, and everybody just goes to the winning one automatically. I don't technically like that, but it is a new game. I'm sure they're still going to be fixing things, and hopefully they'll make that better. So that was the objective. And here's my kind of point of view. I played as Isengard the first season, and then again as the second season, and it's been the same, and it's also been the same on many servers from what I can tell. Isengard does not last long, and I'll give you a little reason why. There's not many players. All these blue dots are players, and there should be a lot more blue dots. And for whatever reason, Isengard starts off with this territory, Endenworth and Dunlin. These are all Isengard territories in the beginning of the season. I started all the way down here, which actually was down here. And as you can see, I have one fort, and it took me 4 days to get to Isengard. By the time I got to Isengard, Gondor was already there. Gondor beat me to my own territory. So how that happened, I don't know. You can see it in the another video I posted earlier. Anyway, so that's the map. That's the objective. All right. So, number 7, range. You can only move 50 spaces, and that is determined by the circle going around the dashed circle going around my base right there on the map. If you could see it, I wish I could point, but I'm using my phone. I should have used a computer on this one. But anyway, you can only move 50 spaces. Once you get to those 50 spaces, well, I can't move out this far because there's nobody on my team. Okay. It says it's out of range. So you can go to your 50, this is your 50 mile or your 50 tile radius. So I can move here, build a fort, and that will extend my range by another 50. So in order to get anywhere, you have to build forts to extend your range, which is why I have a random fort down here, because that's where I started. So that's why it took me 4 days to get to Isengard, because I had to, you can connect tiles to other players in your faction and in your warband. But because there was none, I had to trudge myself all the way to Isengard by myself, creating forts, walking, using all my stamina, just to get all the way up there, just to get beat by Gondor, who was already there. And that's why I have no tiles right now. So Isengard lasted a week, and it was over. But that is your range and your movement, and that's how you get past that first circle, is you just want to build a fort. Super simple. All you want to do is capture a land, go to build, go to fort. Make sure you name it right there, because that's the only time you can name it, if you want to name it. And then you go ahead and build it. Takes, what, 12,000 gold? I only got 6. Whatever, I'll get more. So that is range and movement. Alright, so let's talk about commanders. How do you get them? Alright, so first of all, you'll get your chest, and inside your chest, you can get respect for commanders, or you can get an invitation letter. The invitation letters are super important because they actually give you the whole commander. Tier 3, 0.1% chance of getting, so that's 1 out of 1,000 will get you a tier 3, which is very, very low odds, and I do not like that, but whatever. The only other way to get respect is from doing daily tips. You can get small amounts of respect from that as well, so most likely you're just going to get pieces of respect, and by pieces what I mean is with your tier 1s, you get these little skulls that give you 10 points each, and then Dark Lord's emblem only works with these 3 commanders, gives 40. Of course, everybody's got the. And then there's the Kind Horn. There's something else too, like a meat stick, I think. Yeah, there it is. A roast rog meat. These slowly give you enough respect, so you need. I have all these commanders, so I don't know. I think it's 500 to get a tier 1, 3,000 to get a tier 2, and then it costs 9,000 to get a tier 3. So it takes a while to get these commanders enough respect, unless you get super lucky and get it out of a chest. Like I said, tier 1s and tier 2s are pretty easy to get. Tier 1s, now you don't want to use tier 1s to actually PvP with, because why would you? They're good for other things. Use them to scout with. Use them to, like, for example, she is a gatherer, so she can help gather quicker. So use your tier 1s for doing daily tips, gathering, scouting, suicide missions, whatever. Because the only way you can really scout is to attack somebody and kind of see what they got going on. So use your tier 1s, and then we'll just go ahead and talk about equipment too while we're talking about commanders, because they go hand in hand. So your commanders, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier 2 commanders. I give them my best equipment. If they're tier 1, I really don't worry about it. I mean, I still got a lot of good purple equipment, but only legendary equipment goes to my top 5 PvP. Now, some people only do 2 PvP, and they strengthen all their equipment up. So you need 1 legendary to make. You need 2 legendaries to make 1 1-star legendary. So if I want to make it a 2-star 2 legendary, then I need 2 more legendary items or another 1-star legendary item, if that makes sense. The strengthening and refining really increases its stats, so I really need to focus on that myself. As you can see, the highest one I got is 1 star. But you want to use your best equipment for your best commanders. Tier 2, Tier 3. Whatever you can get your hands on in the beginning, because it's rough in the beginning. Especially when you only have so much stamina you can use. So that'll do it for commanders and equipment. You get equipment through the same way you get your commanders, through the boxes, and event boxes come up occasionally here as well too, and then through your daily tips at your tavern, and sometimes when you are sweeping mobs, and obviously events, and through your battle pass. All get you all kinds of good stuff. So just work on those, and you'll have good commanders and equipment. Takes a little bit of time, not that long though. Like I said, this game's pretty brand new, and I haven't been playing very long, and I got quite a little bit of stuff, minus the tier 3 commanders. Alright, and my last and final tip for Rise of War is the units themselves. Now, very important that you levy your gold as much as possible, and you use that to upgrade your units. I wouldn't. I mean, you can if you want upgrade your tier 2s and tier 1s, but once you get to tier 3, definitely upgrade your units as quickly as possible, because that will be the difference between life and death on the battlefield. Alright, so that being said, this game comes down to a rock, paper, scissors expanded ish kind of thing. So, for example, snipers are ranged unit effective against, well, ranged enemies. So, how do I counter that ranged enemy? Well, you could use snipers, which, you know, if you're playing a roleplay server, it would be the equivalent of a sniper. It'd be a good elf with I think, a bow knight or something. I don't know. And then a dragoon is also effective against ranged enemies. And then there is also... No, not those guys. Might not have them unlocked yet. I think it's a Crusader or something. But you have to see which enemies are good for what. So this infantry unit has a huge damage bonus early on. But as the battle goes on, he doesn't do very well. The alchemist deals fire damage. Actually, let me go in and look at... So, when you get your Crusaders, these guys are very resistant infantry and resistant, I would assume, to fire damage. Maybe good against... flame damage enemies and poison damage, and they are effective against melee infantry. So you have different tiers of melee infantry. So some melee infantries are going to lose against other melee infantries, if that makes sense. Then you got your tanks, resistant large infantry unit that provokes enemies. So your enemies are going to focus all their efforts on them, and then you can counter with your cavalry or whatever. All right, so now you're being attacked, and you have a ranged unit, and you're being attacked by cavalry. So how do you stop that? Well, let's see. We want to go and we want to get some halberdiers, because these guys counter cavalry units. And remember, dragoons are effective against ranged units. So when you're going in and you're building, say, each commander can hold up to 3 different types of units. You don't want 3 types of infantry or 2 types of infantry and 1 archer. You really want to maximize as many different aspects that you can possibly cover. So I'm going to throw some berserkers out there. They're going to be my infantry. They're going to focus on other infantry. Then I'm going to throw my dragoons out there. They're going to focus on any kind of ranged units. And then I'm also going to have... I don't have anything unlocked yet. Bear with me. Normally I'd have Crusaders and Halberdiers. And then I'm going to throw in some more range. So now my cavalry is going to go in behind and counterattack their bowmen. Just say that they have bowmen. While my bowmen are actually killing off the infantry. And my infantry is killing the infantry. So they're getting double teamed. You know. So rock, paper, scissors kind of concept. You really got to be keen on what your enemy is using, because if you send the wrong units in, it's a wrap. And the way I do that is there's no way to scout the enemy. But if I send in one of my low-level tier 1s with 1 unit, I can outfit him with 1 unit, send him in to attack the enemy fort or enemy position, and you will see what he's using, and then you can say, okay, he's using this, this, and this. Alright, so I need to counter his horses with the halberdiers. I need to counter his low resistant infantry with some reapers, and then I can counter his archers with my archers, but will also get helped with the reapers eventually. So Just saying, something like that. So always be on the lookout of what the enemy is using so that you know what to use. And you will do just fine. Rock, paper, scissors. Just remember rock, paper, scissors. Horse beats archer most of the time. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give me a like and a subscribe. If you want to help me continue the work that I do, please donate to Grave Mobile Gaming. I will leave my Cash App in the description. Also, check out mmlar.com for all your health and essential wellness needs. That should be up and running hopefully in March. We're going to bring you all natural, all organic lavender, soap, product, essential oils, whatever you need, want. Your woman will love it, just saying. So check it out. See if you like it or not. Tell me what you think about the video. Let me know how that goes. Tell me what you like about the server reset, the roleplay servers, all that stuff. Let me know what y'all think about it. Also, let me know what y'all think about Isengard. If you agree with me on that one, at least. I don't know. I get a lot of complaints. I'm not crying about it. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's all I got. Grave is out.